Bitcoin is again dropping to war-related news that Trump just had said. And I will show you what it means for us if we're going way lower now, or if we are finally getting the bounce that we're so much waiting for, and if the bull market is actually about to end. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here on this Friday. I jumped directly into the charts because I'm again short on time. So here on the DXY, we are still in that bearish pennant here that we are forming. We are retesting right now the upper anti-downward sloping trend line here. I still don't expect to see here a breakout, rather a rejection, and that we fall here to the bottom of it and gonna break this here in the short to mid term. There was also just news coming out from a US official that said that rates could be cut as early as by the next FOMC meeting in July. So there is now an enhanced chance that we will get a rate cut in July. And of course, that will help us not only for Bitcoin, but for overall the whole crypto market and every risk on asset to see here a nice pump to the upside, and that will lead to the DXY collapsing. So I believe once we get the next rate cut, you're gonna see here a massive collapse in the strength of the dollar, which could potentially kickstart the altcoin season. So now when we jump into Bitcoin on the daily chart, so here are multiple problems currently. First of all, I want to talk about the positive side. I have shown this here a long time ago where I said that Bitcoin was here in this massive downwards trend. And only when we break that and can move here into this range up here between $100,000 and $105,000, only then we have a break of structure and we are basically back in an uptrend. So that has happened. We followed completely here that line out, and now we see here that the 50 and the 200 moving average, I think it's the 50 and the 200. Let me just verify. What is this? Yeah, the 50 and the red one is the 20, I think. Yeah, 50 and the 20. Sorry, 50 and the 20. The Bitcoin price is trying to clinch on the 50, but currently slightly below, or yeah, just hovering around. Yeah, we are slightly below, actually, slightly below. We are like $300 below the 50 right now. So and we got rejected from the 20. So if we would have gotten a close candle above the 20 today, that would have been a bullish signal for massive continuation and expansion to the upside. And of course, we got rejected from here, and now we are even fighting with the 50 to stay above that. If we lose the 50, we will come down to $102,000 in my opinion, maybe even $100,000, and bounce from there back to the upside, because we are technically right now about to lose the mid-range, and that means we go to the bottom range and then get something like this here in the near future. So right now it's all about to hold here $104,600 approximately and close above that, so that we get another attempt to break above the 20 and continue the upwards trend. On the stochastic RSI here, we are potentially bottoming out by today or tomorrow. On the RSI, let me put it this way: if we close today's candle as it is, most likely we're going to get another downturn. Closer to sub 40 on the RSI, but every time when we come here sub 40, look here the last time, sub 40 here, there we were like at 42, okay, 42. At 42 here, look how much we went up again. So we went from 100,400 all the way up to $110,000, like a 10% move to the upside within the same week. So, and something similar could be happening here again if we are dropping today a little bit lower and the RSI keeps dropping back into that low range, and then we get a massive bounce. And you can see here in the past, that is always quite accurate. When we come down here into this range, like over here or over there, we got always a nice relief bounce to the upside every single time when we came here into these regions. Also here, look here at this huge wick where we came back to the upside. So every single time. On the 1 hourly chart, you actually see what happened here. We got here a massive rejection candle from $106,000. Tried for multiple times here today with, you see here in these wicks that we were trying multiple times here, like for the last 6 hours to break above that level, and every time got rejected. And then now we got basically a massive rejection, but this was news related partially. And the news that came out was that Trump is right now in the war room. because he is now, basically warmongering a little bit, and it's like, hey, I want to get involved in the Iran war. I want to bomb this. I want to bomb that. So and then we're gonna install like a puppet regime. So that's something that I picked up today while I was going through my daily research, and this is of course not good. So and now that he said I'm in the war room, which means he is about to do potentially something, that was the fuel that led to that big move here. But we came back into a huge support block and bouncing currently from that support area, which is a healthy sign for the short term. But we need to now follow through a V-shaped recovery. If we don't get a V-shaped recovery, at least above the EMA ribbon, I expect that we start consolidating then below the EMA ribbon and that support zone, and maybe get another pierce into it, that we are piercing one more time into it, a little bit lower, and then continue higher. I'm going to show you the exact level here in a moment that I'm looking at. Then on the MDX algo scalp gradients, also here, I warned you about this, that when we get here this blue section, that it happens from time to time, that we are coming up a little bit and then get another rejection, actually lower than that low over here, and then actually we turn around. So now we have two reversal indications over here. That is something that also happens really rarely, especially when it's so close to the previous one. The first one was for me a warning sign when I saw that yesterday. I was like, not really a fan of that. And then we got a second one, and I was, okay, that looks already a little bit better. But you can even see here, there was a little bit more spread. There also we got a nice move into that resistance area where we got currently also rejected again. And then we went lower, and only then we started running. So I expect something similar here, where we also come down potentially to $103,300, then come back up, and then we actually break through and get here that massive move out of that huge pennant that we are forming here for such a long time already. The same on the reactor indicator. The way that we were coming down here was also something that gave me a warning sign, and then especially here this turnaround now tells me that there's potentially more downside before we get an upwards move. If you want to trade shorts on Bitcoin, you can definitely do that. You know me, I never recommend usually to trade shorts, but if you think you are able to short the market or to long the market for that matter, then sign up on Blowfin. You get up to $5,000 worth of sign up and deposit bonuses. It's no KYC, really important, guys, no KYC. And if you deposit at least $500, not only will you get access to my private trading group, where we have currently a challenge going on, where I handhold you from $500 to $10,000. So I help you turn your $500 into $10,000 in a really slow and safe manner to do that. So if you want to be part of that, deposit $500, sign up on Blowfin. So first sign up on Blowfin, then deposit $500 with the link in the pinned comment below and in the description below. Then you write me or my team a DM on Telegram or on Twitter. Then we're gonna admit you into the group. There is of course a link directly to join the group, guys, but I want to stress this again, that will not get you in. You are like in the request room, and if you did not follow the steps, after 3 days, if I don't see that you signed up, or my team did see that you signed up, we reject you, so, and if I see that happen multiple times, you will be banned for life from it, so just don't do it, it's not worth it, because you will not get in like this. And then something else that I want to mention, in partnership with Blowfin, there is something huge happening tomorrow, really huge, that are going to announce tomorrow. Potentially, I have to check with a manager again, but potentially tomorrow. And also there, you will need at least $500 in your Blowfin account under my link to be part of that. So definitely get your account right now, because tomorrow, potentially, again, I have to check with a manager. I have to talk to him after this video, if we can do it tomorrow. If we can do it tomorrow, it will be something really massive that will help so many of you. So many, you have no idea. And I've never done this before. Never ever have I done this before. So, and so it will happen eventually in the next coming days, but potentially already tomorrow. So sign up with the link in the pinned comment below, deposit $500, and then see what's going to happen. But regardless, you will be at least already in my group, in my trading group on Telegram. So check that out. When we're looking at the liquidation levels, yesterday I had actually for a short period of time, I had here in that section over leveraged liquidity, but that was taken out, down here, but this was taken out by that big move that we saw today. And I was really happy about this because I knew that we are now above the 50 moving average on the 4-hourly chart again and testing the 200 and potentially turn this here around to get a golden cross and get continuation, and would confirm that this was a fake out. That this was a fake out of that death cross and that we're actually going now higher. Now, the fact that we got rejected not only from the 200 but also from the 50 and this upward sloping trend line of that pennant leads me to think that we will come all the way down to the bottom, not all the way to the bottom, but like here to $102,900, $103,000. Once again, a lot of confluence around these levels. Only from there we get a proper bounce back to the upside, and only from there I gonna add to my positions and also open new positions. Only from there. So everything else in between is noise, and the only other way where I would add to my positions or open a new position is if we reclaim the 50 moving average and get at least 1 or 2 4-hourly candles within that range here between the 50 and the 200 moving average. Then on the liquidation heat map, also here you get confluence at $103,200. That there is right now the majority of the liquidity concentrated on the long side. So also here, once again, it makes sense for a market maker to drive the price all the way down here. And then it looks like that we're going to get a bounce to the upside. So they can drive it a little bit lower to take a little bit more of the liquidity, but like it would stop at $102,300 approximately. And then it will be pushed back up. But I actually think that this here will act as resistance for the bearish side to push price lower. And that they just can take that liquidity sitting down here and then they will go back up. Potentially. Something else that I want to show you guys, there is the possibility that we are currently in a massive Elliott wave pattern. And with an Elliott wave pattern, first what you have to look for is basically a bottom that forms, and then you get the expansion phase of the first wave. And we got this, so I can basically start from here. So we have our first wave count. Now the second wave count is a corrective one. The only problem is you don't know where it's stopping. You know, it can stop here on the 0.786 level where we're currently sitting at. It can be here in the golden ratio. It can be slightly above. You don't know where it is until you see a move, this downward sloping trend line currently. So when we are breaking that trend line here currently at $107,700 approximately, then so with a candle close above here and the next expanding to the upside, then okay, now we are in the expansion phase of wave 3, which is the strongest wave, So, and I want to mention here, in wave 3, we don't have to stop at $126,000, So this can go to 135, it can go to 150. You don't know, So also here, how huge the expansion phase is. But usually it targets the 1.618, the 1.5 level, just below it, within it, or just above it. That's where it usually goes. And then you get another corrective wave. Oh, sorry. The wave 4, and then you get a final wave 5. And the final wave 5 here, I think that will be in the vicinity of a bull market top. So I don't believe, because I saw that, a lot of people screaming right now, the bull market is over, so we have already a 5x on Bitcoin from the bottom, so that's it, we will not, actually, was it not even more from the bottom? Yeah, even more. So it's like a 6x, like a 6-7x from the bottom. On the top side, an 8, almost 7x, 7x from the bottom. So people are saying that's it, so that's it. That's the top here. That was the top. That was not the top, guys. And why was that not the top? Because the P cycle indicator, the P cycle top indicator, every single time predicted correctly the market cycle top, So here was an outlier in 2021, but if you would have sold here, would have not really lost anything, because you would have round tripped here everything to get here a couple dollars more on that top, and you would have also had to time it. So if you would have listened to the indicator and would have gotten out there, you would have done really, really well in terms of at least Bitcoin. Not for altcoins, but Bitcoin, you would have done really, really well. But some altcoins too, So and the top indicator has not flashed yet. So that means we are not at the cycle top yet. We are not there yet. And that's on a weekly chart. Then the next thing is also here on CoinGlass, all the bull market peak indicators, they're not there yet. Many of them are at the bottom. Look here, Bitcoin ARR 999 index is currently at 1. At a top, it's over 4. So we are not there. So here, reference, they predict here P cycle top indicator says 167K. That is where the top is approximately. We are not there yet. We are like 60% almost away from it. So there are so many indicators. They're all telling us we are way below where we have to be for a cycle top. You know, none of them has flashed yet and tells us cycle top is there. And also here on that barometer, it says 100% hold everything. You know, no need to sell yet. There's no reason, you know. So, and then here's something else that you also should keep in mind. Here with that halving rainbow and the stock to flow model indicator, every single time when we had a cycle top, it was around 525 days after the Bitcoin halving. So also there, we are not there yet. That date would be the 13th October of this year, you know. So, and now is something else that you have to take in consideration. So first of all, you see here, there was the top after 525 days in 2017. Here also 25 days in 21. So there is a high chance and probability that it's this year the same. But let me tell you why I don't believe that there is potentially the top and it will be a little bit delayed. Because we did not have ETFs. We did not have ETFs. The ETF money can push the price higher and extend it over the 525-day period. So we might be proven wrong here this time, and it will go on for a little bit longer. But I think still, if you would use that as a reference and start selling a little bit here, you would do still really, really well. Instead of maybe again round tripping a little bit and then like trying to time the top that's a little just slightly higher, then potentially even miss it, you know, because you get greedy and think you can absolutely like time the final top like to the dollar, you know, and then it will actually start declining and you're like, oh no, it will do like something like this, you know, and then actually it will do something like this, you know. So, and you don't want to be in that situation when that's happening. So I think around that time here, you might do pretty well if you sell part of your portfolio, your Bitcoin portfolio at that date, because it has proven in the past to be highly accurate. And the Bitcoin dominance currently rampaging a little bit here to the upside. Let me remove here. But we're not on the top side of that rising wedge pattern after I adjusted these lines. But again, even if we come here up to the top at 65.34%, I don't see us going much higher, you know, as long as we are in that rising wedge pattern. First of all, Bitcoin is kind of contained, so to speak. The Bitcoin dominance is kind of contained, and we are running out here in the apex, and that means usually at some point in the next coming days there should be a drop and a breakdown out of that rising wedge pattern. So unless this extends further and it starts going up like this here, you know, and then I have again to adjust the lines, and this rising wedge pattern is just going on forever, and then like a couple of weeks later it's starting to break. But I can tell you we are potentially, in the worst case scenario, we are 2-3 weeks away from this completely collapsing to the downside. Total free market cap is coming down here, exactly as I mentioned to you guys 2 days ago, where I said if we are not able to hold above $835 billion, we're going to get a rejection and we start going lower. If we cannot hold 814 billion, where we're currently sitting at, expect that we go to 778. From there, we're going to find support and bounce back to the upside. So that's why altcoins are bleeding right now, and most likely this will not change for a little bit until this is turning around. Again, if you want to trade altcoins, guys, I trade my altcoins on Bybit. You get up to $30,000 in sign-up and deposit bonuses, plus that they're coming back into the EU. They have a special domain for that. I'm going to get tomorrow all the information that you need for that. There's a special domain, a special link to register that I'm going to provide to you guys. But if you're not in the EU, use the regular link for now in the pin comment below and the description below, because like I said, there's all the altcoin trading is happening on Bybit. Then Ethereum is still here in this a bullish pennant. Also here, I have to get rid of these lines here. In that bull flag pennant, still there we got rejected from the point of control, the longest volume bar here with the most historical price action for Ethereum. So, but the difference here between Ethereum and Bitcoin on daily chart is that the stochastic has already bottomed out. So here it's just a matter of 2 or 3 days that we're going to get a bounce on the stochastic and to the top side of that bullish pennant. Every breakdown out of that pennant is for me a deviation, and yeah, wherever we're gonna drop to, and I see a reversal coming from that deviation, that is where I'm gonna buy and add to my position, or open a new Ethereum position. This is what I'm gonna do. If we stay within that pattern here, then above the golden ratio is where I'm gonna add or open new positions. If you wanna be on a really, really safe side, do it from $2,575. I have said it many times, sound already like a broken record, but that's where I would do it from. And here's Solana. Solana, again, if we are coming down here into that range of $141.60 all the way down to $139.50, massive, massive zone where you want to start opening a position in from here. Just add there, just add there, remove the stop loss, just add there and set your stop loss here at $34 approximately, because also here stochastic potentially bottoming out by tomorrow, after tomorrow. The RSI will also turn around, then there is already a bullish divergence on lower time frames, so there is an imminent bounce also definitely happening. And here, same thing, same drill. If you want to play it really safe, wait for this downward sloping trend line to be broken, because that will be a bias confirmation for now an expansion to the upside, because that is also going on already for a month, that downwards trend, so but when this monthly downwards trend will be broken and you get the confirmation candle going up here, that is one way you want to buy. That's when you want to be in it and yeah, trade it all the way up to potentially $200. Guys, that's it already for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure that you smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I hope to see you with more money and some good news tomorrow.